Rockets back on track as we welcome Pete Seymour back into the studio. Of course, he is the Toledo Rocket Radio Network sideline reporter. Pete, thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for having me, Mark. I appreciate it.
How many times over the years have we seen this pattern where the Rockets lay an egg and then the next week they look like gangbusters?
Well, hey, I think we talked about it last week and saying, you know, this is what happened against Western Michigan. If history proves itself, which it absolutely did this past week, then they were going to go and tear Akron up. And, man, that was a dominant performance to say the least. Offensively, defensively, special teams, we'll get to it. Complete performance by the Midnight Blue and Gold.
Offense put up over 500 yards. Tucker Gleason, the Mid-American Conference Player of the Week, he only played a half.
Yeah, Tucker, incredibly efficient. Only a few incompletions in that first half of play. Junior Vandeross hits another milestone, 2,000 yards receiving. He's now in the top 15 in Midnight Blue and Gold receivers with receiving yards. Chip Trainum looked really good again. Kenji Christian went down a little bit later in the game. He should be fine. I think it was just something with his hand. But, yeah, the offense, really good. But, again, like we've talked about every week and what Coach Candle says a lot, complementary football. And this week, something they didn't do against Western Michigan, Mark, that was get out to a fast start.
Absolutely. You mentioned the injury with Kenji Christian. That's not the only injury. Scary moment in the second half. John Allen Richter carted off the field. The good news is he seems to be okay.
Yep, and I was able to get, obviously, this update a few days later. But from Coach Candle, he said after the game, you know, signs are pointing in a good direction right now. And, again, after hearing a few more things, Jar was able to go home that night. So really positive signs. Again, don't know the full extent of everything yet, but that's what I know so far. That's a really positive update and encouraging to say the least because, Mark, like you said, very scary play. Got out of a high-pressure situation, spun out of a defensive lineman's arms, rolled to the far side of the field, took a hit, took another hit. Helmet went backwards. But, yeah, prayers up for John Allen Richter and fingers crossed. Hopefully he's ready to go here in a few weeks.
Yeah, the Rockets have this week off. We'll get into the Bowling Green matchup next week. Of course, that's the next game for both of those programs. But we'll continue dissecting the Akron win. The defense. We're talking about a defense now who is among the top 15 in the nation in terms of allowing points.
Yeah, how about over the last 3 games, Mark? Only 17 points allowed. That's the question I asked Coach Candle after the game. Incredibly impressed with the defense, but again, it complemented a 500-yard game by the offense. When you get out, you score early. They were ahead 7-0 in the first 30 seconds of that game. Your defense can really dig in. And a guy I want to spotlight, Malachi Davis, 2.5 sacks, really good again. This linebacking core, Kavion Sherman, another nice game. Chris Apollonia, another nice game. Front 7 of Toledo is playing really well. And another guy that we have to talk about, who I haven't mentioned yet on this show this year, is UMass transfer Luce Julian. He's been really good on the outside as a defensive end for Toledo. And, yeah, the defensive line, some of the guys maybe just a little undersized, but Sean Carter, also very productive last week. And, yeah, it helps the cause when your defensive line is getting into the backfield of a backup quarterback.
You mentioned one of those new buzzwords that college football coaches are all crazy about the last couple of years, complementary football. We talked offense, we talked defense. Special teams, a Rocket record on special teams this week.
Yeah, how about Robert Hammond? So what happened was, and shout out Eric Hawley, first career touchdown for the Toledo Rockets. Akron kid too, so it had to feel pretty nice. But he gets penalized after scoring that touchdown, so they back the kickoff to the 10-yard line. And as we know, this is the farthest kickoff in Toledo Rocket history. He boots it 90 yards from the 10 out of the end zone. You should have seen his celebration, Mark. It was fantastic, and even better was special teams coach Stanton Weber getting out there with him because he knew exactly what just happened. But, yeah, fantastic kick, fantastic celebration, something you don't see every week. And, again, special teams really good. And, again, on the returning side of things, their return game also fantastic. They were starting, if not into Akron territory, very close to it for a lot of those drives.
So the Rockets are 3-2, certainly not where they wanted to be, not where they thought they would be at this point in the season. A lot still left to play for, obviously, just the one league loss. We ask this almost every year at this time. Is this bye coming, this week off coming at a good time for the Rockets?
I think it absolutely is. Get some of those bumps and bruises healed up just a little bit. Not that there's a ton, but I like the don't want to say early bye week, earlier than a few other schools, but with Bowling Green having a bye this week, with Toledo having a bye this week, they're both going to come out well rested for a noon kick at Dwight Perry Stadium. What gets better than that, Mark? The intensity is just a little bit more, and as much as these teams, you know, dislike each other on the football field, one thing that I have learned with ties to both universities is strictly the fact that the people make the place. There's great people at BG, great people at the University of Toledo, and I can't wait for it.
And we'll have plenty more on the Battle of I-75 next week on College Ball Weekly, as well as Game Day Tailgate will be at Deutsch Perry next Saturday for a pregame show as the Rockets and Falcons get ready to go at it in a week and a half. Pete Seymour, thank you so much for joining us.
Appreciate it, Mark. Thanks. Go Rockets.